If you or someone you love is living with the burning, the tingling, or the numbness of neuropathy, Dr. Kimberly Patton at Comprehensive Integrative Healthcare in St. Louis wants you to know that there is hope and relief on the way. We are thrilled to welcome Dr. Patton with Comprehensive Integrative Healthcare here to Great Day St. Louis this morning. It's good to see you.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's so important that we're talking about this because neuropathy impacts millions of people every single day. So what are most of these patients being told, and also why isn't it working?
Such an important question. So inevitably they're being told that they can mask the symptoms with medication. Gabapentin is the most common recommendation, and unfortunately it's just that. It's a Band-Aid. It's not fixing anything. Nothing's getting better. Maybe the edge is taken off, but the progression is happening underneath.
And no one likes to hear that because, of course, if they are dealing with the symptoms we just discussed, they absolutely want relief and results.
Absolutely.
So what are you seeing with your patients?
So when we treat the root cause, which is the damage to the micro blood vessels, we can actually regain nerve function again. And therefore, the symptoms that they suffer from start to go away. So by 90 days, 97% of our patients are feeling better, which is so fantastic.
In 3 months?
3 months.
97%?
Yes.
Okay, now I need to hear about the patients. Will you share one of your patient stories with us?
I would be happy to. So Thomas was somebody who heard us on the radio, and he was very skeptical, but he called anyway. He came in, wasn't sure what to expect, but he did everything that we told him. He was having a lot of pain, balance issues, things of that sort, just the classic neuropathy symptoms. And when he finally got to his 90-day exam, his nerve had improved by 57%. He was 85% better symptomatically. I mean, he was just doing great. So we were really happy to hear that for him.
And the statistics are one thing, but I bet this has completely changed his life.
So that's the biggest, most important part of this, is that yes, we have all these numbers that we check and track, but it's the stories behind the numbers that are so important. It's what they lost because of the neuropathy that ends up coming back that makes such a difference with these people's quality of life. That's what really we do it for.
You mentioned Thomas. He was skeptical at first,
yes.
So here's a chance to speak directly to the people watching at home. Who would this work for, and what would you say to encourage them to pick up the phone?
Yes, I love that question as well. If you have any of the symptoms of neuropathy, if you are feeling burning, tingling, numbness, if you have balance issues, maybe it's just one of those symptoms, or maybe it's a couple of those, maybe you've been told you have neuropathy, you need to come in, because the sooner you come in, the better. That is when we can make the best outcomes for you, and it goes from just managing the symptoms to actually getting rid of the condition.
So here you go, St. Louis. This is your chance to really take back control of your life with Dr. Patton and the team. You can sign up for their free neuropathy relief workshop by calling 636-241-9076. No cost, no commitment, just real answers about what is happening with your nerves. You can also head to their website, cih.health/workshop for more information.